Mr. Peter Ho, National Gallery Singapore Chairman, Dr. Eugene Tan, CEO and Director of National Gallery Singapore, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. Let me join Peter in welcoming all of you to this Gallery Gala, celebrating a decade of creativity, community, and bold vision here at the National Gallery Singapore. Since its opening in 2015, the National Gallery has grown into a vibrant node in Singapore's art and culture landscape, as well as one of our leading visual arts institutions. The theme of this year's celebration, A Decade of Imagination, is most fitting. The gallery itself was an act of imagination to repurpose the Supreme Court and City Hall, once the seat of our judiciary and government respectively, into a home for arts and culture. Through creativity and placemaking, these monuments are no longer just legacies of the past, but living spaces that connect our history with the present and inspire new possibilities for the future. The theme of imagination also resonates meaningfully with our SG60 milestone. Indeed, Singapore's success over the past 60 years would not have been possible without the bold imagination of generations of Singaporeans. At independence, we had very little by way of natural resources or hinterland. What we had was the imagination to see the possibilities and opportunities where others see challenges and constraints. It took imagination to transform a small trading outpost into one of the world's busiest ports, to turn swampland into an international airport, and to reinvent a city of kampongs and shophouses into a modern metropolis. And with conviction, we turned our ideas into reality and made Singapore into a thriving hub of opportunity we are proud to call home. Singapore at 60 is more than just a city transformed. It is also a place with a strong and distinctive identity shared by Singaporeans, shaped by our shared values, history, and aspirations. The art plays a vital role in shaping this national identity. The arts help us understand our past, reflect on who we are, and imagine who we can become. They give expression to our collective memories, struggles, and hopes. They are more than just enrichment, but an anchor of our Singapore spirit, multicultural, innovative, and resilient. In a young and evolving society like ours, institutions that preserve and present the arts are essential to the work of nation building. The National Gallery is one such institution. The Gallery's new Singapore Stories exhibition is a good example of this. Through the thoughtful curation of our own artists like Hansai Po, Jafar Latif, and Anaratnam Gunaratnam, this exhibition shows how diverse threads from our communities weave together into a shared tapestry of who we are. Programs such as the Children's Biennale and the museum-based learning for Primary 4 students help to inspire young and curious minds while deepening the understanding of our artistic and cultural history. And last but not least, through high-profile collaborations with global institutions such as France's Centre Pompidou and Mosey and d'Orsay, UK's Tate Britain, Japan's National Museum of Modern Art, and South Korea's National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, the gallery not only amplifies Singapore's cultural voice, but also cements our role as an active contributor to global intercultural exchange. Through these efforts, the gallery has broadened our horizons, deepened our cultural roots, and strengthened our Singapore national identity. Finally, we must match imagination and identity with inclusion, so that the arts will not be just the privileges of a few, but something that all Singaporeans can appreciate and identify with. The gallery has taken important steps to democratize access to art. Through its digital platforms, the gallery has enhanced its accessibility and reach beyond its physical footprint. In fact, it attracted 4 million online engagements last year, more than double the number of in-person visitors. The gallery's community programs also help to improve well-being, foster empathy, and strengthen our kindred bonds. For example, its Arts With You program brings joy to persons with dementia and their caregivers as art heals, connects, and uplifts. On our part, the government will continue to promote the arts and develop audiences. 2 weeks ago, we launched the SG Culture Pass to provide all Singaporean citizens 18 years and above with $100 worth of credits. Through the SG Culture Pass, we hope that Singaporeans will discover and engage with our arts and heritage programs, and in time, develop a stronger Singaporean identity and sense of belonging. At the same time, philanthropy can play a catalytic role in enabling institutions like the National Gallery to innovate, take creative risks, and reach wider communities. The gallery's journey in this first decade has been enabled in no small part by the continued support of its patrons and supporters. I thank all of you for helping the gallery advance its mission of bringing art and culture to the people. It is heartening to see many of you here this evening, donors, sponsors, and supporters who have contributed not only financially, but with your ideas, energy, conviction, and trust. Your contributions have supported curatorial research, expanded community access and education programs, and made world-class exhibitions possible here in the National Gallery. The government will continue to nurture strong public-private partnership in the support of the arts. And this is why we have introduced initiatives such as the Cultural Matching Fund, as well as other tax incentives to encourage and facilitate giving. As we look to the next chapter of the Singapore story, let us continue to champion the arts as patrons, partners, and nation builders, and in doing so, empower institutions like the National Gallery to remain ambitious and creative. Congratulations once again to the National Gallery Singapore on this milestone. May you continue to inspire imagination and contribute to building a stronger Singapore identity and a more inclusive society. Thank you and have an enjoyable evening.